When the Germans introduced poison gas into World War I in 1916, many feared that they had discovered a war-winning weapon.
The idea had been around for quite some time. Even in the American Civil War, the concept of using chlorine-type shells had been discussed, but never used because it went against the laws of war and was seen as inhumane. The rule was, you can't use a shell if the purpose was to spread toxic gas, so both sides would mix non-lethal replacements in their explosives, such as tear gas.
The Germans tried this first on the French, but had no effect due to high winds. They tried it once more on the Russians, but the cold caused it to freeze.
After these attempts, the German military raised their efforts, hiring Fritz Haber, Nobel Prize-winning chemist, to design lethal gas. The gas was made of chlorine and phosgene, both respiratory agents. They would attack the lungs, causing victims to drown in their own bodily fluids.
The Germans first used the gas on Belgium in 1915. They had no idea what to make of it at first, seeing yellow smoke coming from German trenches, thinking they might be on fire. The gas cost the British 5,000 lives.
A chemical arms race soon began as each side was trying to develop more effective weapons. Soon enough, chemical shells made up 35% of French and German ammunition, 25% British, and 20% American. The Germans decided to attempt creating a massive lethal cloud of gas heading straight for the opposing side, but this seemed nearly impossible. Soon after, however, Fritz Haber was on their side once more and designed chlorine cylinders, holding 40 to 50 times the amount of gas that the shells ever could.
Gas masks were eventually made by both sides. The early designs were just a piece of cloth hanging from your nose, but soon developed into actual masks, with charcoal filters neutralizing the poison.
Soon, other types of gas were developed, but none as deadly as mustard gas. The gas wouldn't always kill you, but arguably it would be a sweet release. The gas would build up on the soldiers, slowly rotting their flesh as time went by. When mustard gas clouds would pass, a thin layer of the substance would be left behind to rot away at your skin. Many people reported to even have no effect from the gas, only experiencing physical deteriorations years later.
Soldiers had to be covered in waterproof clothing, protecting them from the non-lethal but extremely painful mustard substance.
Eventually, people soon started to realize that the gas was very unreliable. Even though it was effective, it was just too hard to control, spreading to unwanted places and just giving all parties a harder time. The production of chemical weapons slowly decreased.
Even though toxic gas injured more than 1 million soldiers, it killed less than 100,000, adding up to just 1% of the war's death toll.
Fritz Haber was never listed as one of those 100,000. His wife committed suicide after learning of his misguided patriotism. Ironically, he was later run out of Germany in 1933 when Hitler took over because he was Jewish. Germany never declined to this, for he was no longer of use to them.